Stadium in downtown Atlanta. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Touchdown, Falcons! Devontae Freeman, 70 yards, and the Falcons have taken the early lead. The first play from scrimmage? Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate, and guess what? They're in the lead now.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to...
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
For the Falcons, Charles, we talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7-9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that, and they did going into the season. But when you lose your starting safeties in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, your middle linebacker, Deion Jones, for a long stretch of time, you end up starting 1-4. Then in the second half of the season, you have a 5-game losing streak. 7-9 is actually better than I thought that they were finishing because of those 2 long losing streaks.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Third and long. It's Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Charles, that's an important 3rd down stop. You don't want to spot him 2 touchdowns here early.
You're trying to slow momentum down. You've already given up the score. They're coming right back at you. You're exactly right. Being able to hold them there and force a decision on 4th down, that's big for the defense.
Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. They made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening. Super Bowl weekend, the Madden 19 Club Championship, second major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pauvin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, IB Strafen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know, if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pauvin, though, wins $100,000 for his efforts, also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day, unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pauvin. Way to go.
Here we go. Left. Hey, go down.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. This is caught by Ginn. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And here now come the Falcons. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
22!
Now Ryan on second down. Forced out to his left. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
54, South. Ready. Back 25.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Hey, let's go. 22.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On the keeper, here's Ryan. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. This time Ryan will throw. This is caught. It's Sanu this time for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, 29 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Well, as the dust settles for the New Orleans Saints on this season, yes, a lot of disappointment for the second year in a row. But, you know, 13-3, #1 seed for the first time since '09. Now, they did suffer the first home playoff loss under Breeze and Peyton after 6 wins, but a lot to be proud of this year for New Orleans.
No doubt about it. I mean, that team jumped out right from the word go. Well, let me rephrase that. After a season-opening disappointing loss to Tampa Bay, they ran off a heck of a streak and established themselves as the team to beat in the NFC. The only concerns going forward, will they get everyone back healthy? Remember, Sheldon Rankins, their exciting defensive tackle, got hurt in the playoffs. But the other part is, can they shake off the last 2 years of losses, get that out of their psyche? That crazy Minneapolis loss to the Vikings, and then the controversial non-call in the playoffs against the Rams this year. If they can put that behind them, they'll be a force again in 2019.
Now Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
To throw is Breeze. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Here we go.
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Shotgun now for Breeze. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ted McKinley in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Ready. Back 25. 39. 21.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Craig Robertson in on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Gun.
On 3rd down, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Wait. Switch. Gun. Hey, gun. 22. Right.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep for the Saints is Ted Ginn. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice little juke. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
To throw, it's Breeze. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Being chased out left, and that is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Here's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Got it.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Flush to his right. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Throwing now is Breeze. And it'll be intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thomas, the intended target. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And a short pickup here as he'll get up to about the 22-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, now he bowls him over. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Going deep here for Bryant. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, what a move. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Bryant keeps it on the sneak. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Matt Ryan. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Breeze now on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Vic Beasley able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the gun, it's Breeze. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
5-4.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Tech McKinley in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out come the Falcons now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
51, Sam!
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. A defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
That goes for a gain of 31. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a 2nd guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Breeze now on 3rd and goal. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
21.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Again, they'll run with Freeman. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready. Back 25. 54, set.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. He's got a man complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. And that one results in 35 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tech McKinley getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Now Breeze. Looking downfield for Dez. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Breeze, got to have this one. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Get up! Sit on that. Back 25. Mike 51. Mike 51. 54, Sam.
Freeman again. And down to the 36-yard line here. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Touchdown, Falcons! Devontae Freeman. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Here's LILVEEJR to kick it away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tech McKinley, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Breeze now. Now they go screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Well, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Eluding the pressure right. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Freeman. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here's Ryan to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
21.
One final try here for Breeze. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.